Hey friends, today I want to tell you about an app or a piece of software that has completely changed my life. It has made me more productive and organized, and if you know me, I've never been really an organized person. That software is called Notion. So what exactly is Notion? Well, Notion is kind of hard to explain. It's an app that allows you to build web pages and use databases and embed documents and share those or work on those with other people on your team. A lot of businesses these days are using Notion to develop like internal intranets or wiki documents or any kind of like SOPs that they want to create. So it's like a database for a company that allows you to look at all the different pages that you need to have instead of building a full website for your company or business. But I use Notion just as a person, just as an individual. And I use it for two main things. And that is one, to keep up with projects and goals. And number two, for knowledge management. First, let's talk about how Notion helps me keep up with my goals. So I have goals that I like to set for myself. And these can be monthly goals, quarterly goals, or yearly goals. And basically, I need to figure out a way to complete these goals. Some of these goals are pretty big. For example, one of them is making $2,000 a month passively from one of my websites. And if you just think about that, $2,000 a month passively from your websites, that goal sounds pretty large. So what I like to do is break up these goals and make them more manageable for myself. And how do I make them more manageable? I have different projects that I must complete for these goals. And this brings us to projects. Each goal has multiple projects, and by completing those projects, I get closer and closer to my goal. So for example, making $2,000 a month from passive websites, one of my projects is a website to make passive income. Each of these goals have specific action items that I need to complete that will help me get closer to completing these projects. And that brings me to action items. Every day I have a list of action items I must complete. Now sometimes these action items are simple, like doing laundry or taking out the trash or whatever I have to do for that day. But a lot of these action items are tied back to my projects. So for example, one of my projects is building a website to make passive income. Well, every day I have an action item to write an article for that website. Then I might have an action item to add affiliate links to that website. And then I have other action items to build on top of that website. So what happens is every single day I know what I need to be doing. Every day I have specific items that I need to complete to help me complete those projects, and those projects help me complete my goal. And that's a great way to complete projects, by breaking them down into little manageable pieces that you can work on a little bit each day. So that's how my action items work to complete my goals in Notion. I also use Notion for knowledge management. So I have different pillars in my life of things or domains that I want to learn. So for example, copywriting, marketing, brand building, building an audience. These are all different kind of pillars in my life. These are all kinds of pillars in my life of things that I want to learn or get better at. As I complete books or read blogs or listen to podcasts, I like to take notes in Notion, and I tag those notes for each of those pillars that I'm working on. So for example, if I want to learn about marketing, I'll go read a blog post about marketing, I'll go listen to a podcast about marketing, or I might read a book about marketing, and I take notes and tag all those notes under marketing. Later on, I can come in and look at my marketing pillar, and I can find all the notes of all the different pieces of media that I've consumed about marketing. So I have a whole database of marketing knowledge that I've accumulated. And the best part is I don't have to worry about forgetting any of this stuff or wondering where this is on Google Docs or whatever, because everything is tagged for the specific pillars. All of my pillars have different notes for each of the media that I've consumed. So these are two ways that I use Notion to make my life more organized, more productive, and just a better life in general. I learned this system from a guy named August Bradley, and he's a YouTuber that talks about Notion and systems design. I took one of his Notion classes. It was like 6 or 10 hours long. It was incredibly long, but it definitely was worth it for learning how to use this system. So if you feel like you have a lot of things that you need to do, or a lot of projects or goals that you want to complete, or if you're just learning a whole bunch of things, Notion can be a great way to put all that knowledge and information together so you can keep track of it. That's all I got to say about Notion today. Notion is a very complex piece of software, and you can pretty much do anything with it that you want. Notion can be kind of intimidating when you first start looking at it, but if you watch some videos on YouTube or take some courses, you can easily learn how to use this software. For me, it was definitely worth it to spend the time to learn the system, and now I have the system every day in my life instead of keeping up with to-do lists on my notepad or to-do lists on my Google Calendar. So this is just a piece of software that has completely changed my life, and I highly recommend that you use it as well.